Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to apologize in advance for not getting this video out as soon as I could have. I just been pretty busy lately, and I just recently got a computer and just been enjoying with that. Speaking of which, this is what the gameplay was recorded on. Um, anyway, I just want to just want to tell you guys I'm very thankful for the support on um on the Clash of Clans quote unquote video. Not really video, but I mean something that took me 5 seconds to, no, not five, I'd say 5 minutes to make. It wasn't that hard, but what I'm trying to say is I'm thankful for the views on that and the support on that video. And I also thank the 200 subscribers I got from that. And this video is dedicated to 200 subscriber goal. And this video is specifically for you guys for supporting the channel. And I just wanted to make a video about how I almost sued Smoothie King. So it's a pretty interesting story. I'll try to go into as much detail as I can. But without further ado, let's get into the story. 2 years ago, I was looking for a job because I just recently got my license to so I can drive my car. You know what every teenager dreams of, just drive their car around, hang out with friends. But I promised my parents that whenever I get my license, that I would get a job. And in my free time when I'm at school, I just look through applications on different websites, and I looked through a lot of them, did some research on what the best job is available for a 16-year-old. So, and I stumbled across an ad, or not really an ad. It was a offering, not really an offering. I'd say an app. Yeah, just apply here for Smoothie King, and it was like the team member one, so like the very basic, like you make smoothies and shit. That's basically it. Anyways, I applied there, and within, God, it was not that long. I'd say 5 days maybe, but I don't remember how the period, but I know it was very fast that they replied because apparently they were in need of employees. So, anyways, on that Saturday, I get a phone call from a random phone number, and usually I don't answer phone calls from random numbers because it's what most people do. But I was like, this probably could be Smoothie King or whatever. And I called, or I didn't call, I answered the phone, and what do you know? It was one of either the franchise owners or someone. I'm pretty sure it was a franchise owner that they said that they saw my application, and when they asked me if I was available for an interview, like when I was available for an interview, and I was like, oh, this time and date works well for me, and then got my interview scheduled. Went through my interview, asked me the basic questions of like, oh, why do you want to work here? Why should we hire you? And that was, I'd say, my first real job interview. So I was a little nervous, but I wasn't too scared or whatever. Eventually, when this interview was over, I got the job. So my first shift, this guy trained me, and the person who interviewed me, her name was, oh, I won't say her name for privacy reasons, but her name, but she's basically the manager of this store or whatever. So she hires me. I'm I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go and start working there. And first shift goes by, and I was like, this is actually kind of enjoyable. I'm not minding this, but that's kind of how it is with every job. You're excited to start, and you're having a good time with it, and as time goes by, you just hate your job. you know, so I got hired in November, and let's let's fast forward to, I'd say, about until February. Early February 2020. I was working from like 4 to 8 in the evening. I think that's how late I was working, and it was a Friday, and I do remember it being very slow that day, which is unusual for a Friday because Fridays we have what's called a $5 Friday on our medium smoothies, which means that our medium smoothies are $5 every Friday. So it means a lot of people are gonna come, and wanting the went in the smoothie, you know. And at that time, because I live in Missouri and our pay rate was our minimum wage was like 8.75, but I think as when we went to 2020, it was like 9.45. It bumped up, but I was making minimum wage at that job. Continuing on that shift, it is very slow, and one person was leaving at 3, or yeah, one person was leaving at 4. So like when I got there, someone left, but I had another person with me, and he was a newer guy, and we didn't have a customer for I'd say like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes straight. Had like maybe one or two on and off, and then as we finished with that customer, and my manager calls my coworker and asked him, he could go home early. And I was just like, why? And he goes, I don't know. Just she wanted to send me home early. I was like, okay. That seems kind of odd. I'm gonna be on my own until like 7. Basically, I'm on my own, and I'd say for 15 minutes, nothing was happening. Nothing was going on. No customers were at the door, and I got like a phone call asking if someone was asking about gift cards for like this high school cheerleading team, and I was like, and I didn't know what to do, so I was just like, yeah, I'll let my manager know you called or something like that. And then I hung up the phone. 5 seconds go by, I'd say something like that, and I get the ding sound in my headset, which if any of you have worked a drive-through at a fast food place or something like that, you know what I'm talking about. You get that little notification, yeah, your headset that someone's at the drive-through. So I don't get worried. I'm just like, just one person stopping by. This person ordered. I don't remember the exact orders on the people that ordered smoothies, but I know they ordered like a couple smoothies. It wasn't like just one super easy one. It was like that. So it was just I start making this, and as I'm making the smoothies, like I finish one of them, I start making another one. I get another ding in the headset, and it worries me a little bit. Don't remember what this how many smoothies this person ordered, but eventually I was like, okay, just don't panic, I got this. And then I got more. They just kept adding on, like just more. It was a whole conga line outside Smoothie King, man. It was brutal. Like I started having like a panic attack, like not actually, but I just started freaking out, man. I was not not comfortable, and I was just completely stressed out. And then as like this chaos was going on, some apparently I missed a guy from like the headset or whatever, and he goes up to me, goes, "You never took my order." I was just like, "Ah, man, I'm so sorry, man. I'm working by myself, and I'm just really stressed out right now." And this dude just didn't give a fuck. He just wanted his smoothies and wanted to leave. Didn't have any sympathy for me whatsoever. So I was just like, like, well, what do you want? And then put his order down. And of course, there's like a car full of kids in the back, so there was like 4 different smoothies that he ordered. And I also had someone that ordered 2 large smoothies, expecting like, oh, why is it so much? I'm like, then I have to explain to them why it's on our medium smoothies, and it's just a train wreck, man. I just don't know how to describe it. And I would have called someone, but my mind was just so cluttered from the chaos that was going on, and I just could not like. The only thing I was focused on was making these smoothies, giving them to the customer. I was only focused on that and like the situation I was in. I didn't think of calling anyone or anything like that. I probably could have, but it would probably would have taken too much time. And as as time goes on, like eventually one of my coworkers that was scheduled at like 7 or whatever, he's doing a closing shift, I'm pretty sure. Shows up 7, sees the absolute chaos that's going on, helps me. We get through the stressful situation in a matter of minutes. Like things calm down. I I started thanking him for showing up. He showed up a little bit, like 5 minutes early actually. So I was really appreciative of him showing up and helping me out. And you know, and then he goes, "You wait, you were by yourself?" I'm like, "Yes, like And the dude was just like, that seems very stupid and unreasonable. And I was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then my shift ends, and I get in my car. I am just, I don't know. I am a total mess. I am not like crying, but just like it's one of those things where you get so mad you're about to cry, you know? And pounding my fist on like the middle console or whatever, just I wanted to beat the shit out of someone. I was so mad. And normally I'm a very nice person. You know, I don't get mad easily, but or anything like that. I usually don't get that mad. But I was on another level of confused and just very angry. And then drive home, I was just like screaming. I was just unstable. Like my felt like my mental health was declining. And I get home, my dad sees that I'm just like not having it. He can tell I'm tired. He can tell I'm frustrated. He goes, "No, what's wrong? What's wrong? What happened?" And then I was just like, I was left by myself at work for 3 hours. And he goes, "What?" And I explained to him that my coworker got sent home early. I didn't have any, like, it was slower than usual, I understand, but he just sent my coworker home early. My manager sent my coworker home early, and I got bombarded by people. And normally, that's not like an issue where I have to send someone home early and leave someone by themselves. And keep in mind, I was 16 at the time, which is, I haven't done my research on it, but I can almost guarantee you that that has to be illegal to leave a 16-year-old by themselves at a business. I just start breaking down and I start crying. My mom can see what's going on. My parents were comforting me. They were making sure I was okay, and they were comforting me and telling me everything's gonna be okay, you know. And then my dad goes, "Have you asked your manager why you're left by yourself?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." And then just like dawned upon me, I'm like, why did I not ask my manager? So I asked her. I was like, "Why was I left by myself for no apparent reason?" Like I understand it was a little slow at the time, but I deserve an explanation of like, well, no, why did this happen? As soon as I get back to my phone, I see that she responded, and she just goes on full defensive mode, saying, "This is no way to talk to your boss. This is unprofessional." Yeah, and she said that this was unprofessional, and getting all defensive and saying I managed 3 other stores and all this other type of bullshit excuses, and I am just like, what? You're you're calling me unprofessional when you left a 16-year-old by themselves at a business. Do you realize how wrong that is? Just going off like on her and then saying, "Oh, it's not even well, not even that busy at this time of year. It doesn't even pick up till like summertime." And I'm like, that is no excuse. Dude, you cannot expect a 16-year-old just run the business by themselves. One, I've only been there for 2 months, so I don't know the recipes to every smoothie to the back of my hand like some people do. You can't expect me to do that. Like you can't give me the excuse that you managed 3 other stores either, because one, you had a simple decision of either leaving my coworker there on a $5 Friday with me, because you should have 2 people. You should have at least 2 people in the store at all times. At all times, you should have at least 2 people. And my let's say my dad took over the texturing and was like saying like basically like giving a very detailed description of like that I'm resigning, like I'm quitting. And then she goes, "Oh, okay, that's fine, whatever." Just dialed down, and just didn't really do anything after that. And oh, I forgot to mention, on top of that, I haven't been paid in a fucking month. So when I asked her that, I asked her like why I haven't been paid in a month. She goes, "Oh, I don't know. There's some probably the payroll really screwed up." And I'm not blaming my manager for that. Like I understand she's not really responsible, and I probably should have said something sooner, saying like why I haven't been paid in a month. I probably should have said something sooner, but that's still like it's. I shouldn't have to remind someone to pay me. That should be pretty thorough. Like I don't know who's doing payroll, but they did a horrible job. Anyways, so time goes on for a little bit. I'm in school one day, and I get a text message from a random number saying that I have to return my hoodie or whatever that like I was using for like the job because they either give you a uniform or a sweater. Depends on what time of year you get hired. But I had a hat and like a sweater or whatever, so I was like, okay. I returned that one day, and then the next couple days go by, and then I get another text message from the same number, and it's not my manager or whatever. It was I'm pretty sure it was one of the franchise owners saying that my checks are ready to be picked up at the store, and I had to go there. When I dropped off the hoodie, the guy that showed up, like during like the chaos that ensued at that night, um, he goes like, "Oh, why are you giving me your hoodie or whatever?" I was like, "I quit." He goes, "You quit?" Like, kind of, he was surprised, but I was like, "Dude, I don't want to go into full details, but after what happened that night, I'm done." And then he goes, "Hey, I don't blame you, man." Just saying, he was pretty sympathetic, saying like he agreed with me, saying that it was kind of ridiculous of how that happened. And then and then after that, like on the day I picked up my checks, the guy it was kind of awkward. The guy that trained me um was there, and then he goes, "Ah, man, what happened, man?" I was like, it's a long story. I do not want to go to it. Just please give me my checks, and I want to get the fuck out of here. I didn't say it like that, but I was just saying like, I don't want to go into it, man. Just give me my checks so I can go. And I pick up my checks, which is like $300 total. Kind of ridiculous. And I pick up my checks, and then that's where the story ends. And then this person that was texting me, I'm pretty sure it was the franchise owner, and my theory as to like why they were like being nice to me over text is because they realized of what happened. They realized I was left by myself as a 16-year-old, and that I probably could have sued them, but I didn't. I didn't sue them. Mainly because it kind of taught me a life lesson of like things aren't always going to go to plan, and things like shit like that happens. And that's kind of like the moral of the story for this video is like things aren't always going to go like the way they're supposed to go. Like stuff like that is going to happen. Like that's what happens in the real world, man. The real world will screw you over sometimes. You know, that's kind of like the lesson I learned from this. And I found out I found out that my manager was the daughter of the franchise owner. So that explains why she wasn't a great manager, because she does not know what she's doing. Mainly, I mean, she kind of knows what she's doing, but she just made horrible management decisions, and just overall the management there was just poor. It was not good. So that explains why, because the parents probably gave her a job opportunity, because nowhere else to work or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, she worked. I don't know if she works there still or not, but who knows? I mean, I'm working at I'm working at Walmart right now, and I'm getting paid 16 an hour. And the jobs, I'm not left by myself at all, and I have people who have good work ethic there, and it's a lot better. It's a lot better there. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, I appreciate you guys listening to the video, and if you enjoyed this story that ensued, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm planning on trying to film more videos and create more projects in the future. And I'll just leave it at that.